Hey there, it's Najana Peasant here, personal trainer, weight loss expert, and owner of Sentience Personal Training. And today I've created this little video for you to teach you how to transform your meal plan so that you can safely and effectively lose half a kilo to 1 kilo per week every week until you reach your goal. As we keep hearing, 80% of our weight loss and how we look is all about what we eat and how we eat it. It does seem to be, though, the hardest thing to shift, especially working with loads of clients over the years. I find that it is a lot easier for clients to work out pretty hard than make some quality changes to their meal plans. And it is a challenging thing, lots of mixed messages out there. And in this short video, I'm going to show you how to really transform that around. You are going to lose that half a kilo to a kilo per week every week if you change up not only what you're eating, how you're eating it, and when you're eating it. So how we're going to do that is to look at the 4 different elements of our meal plans. So we're going to look at meal timing, we're going to look at meal combinations, and we're going to look at the choices that you're making and then looking at the fluids that you're taking in. But before we get stuck into that, I just wanted to show you something really cool that I just stumbled across this week. So we use Fit Clients, which is an online software, just flick that across, to monitor our regular fortnightly weigh-ins of our clients. And we've been using this software for 2 years now, since June of 2014, sorry. And I flicked it over this week and I've seen that we have lost 554 kilos of people, which is pretty awesome. So why am I showing you this? Because what I'm about to teach you is exactly what we take our clients through, and it's the formula that we use to get those fabulous results. The reason why what I'm about to teach you works is because it takes your current meal plan and improves it, rather than giving you a meal plan with a style of eating that doesn't suit you or is a whole bunch of foods that are completely foreign to you and not what you're normally used to including and cooking with. So this is not to say that we don't give our clients examples of meal plans, because but we do find that when clients implement what I'm about to teach you, they can stick to their meal plans a lot easier and they get great results because it is a gradual change and there are some tweaks in areas that you probably wouldn't have thought of that isn't just around food choices and what you are actually having. Okay, so let's dive right in and get started. What I'm going to take is a real food diary from a real client. So these are some examples of some we've received over the years. The meal plan that I'm going to transform for you today is this one by a client that I got probably about a year ago. What I would recommend though is pause the video now if you can, write down a typical day of food for yourself, and then as I'm going along you can kind of take your meal plan and transform it with the steps as we go, so you end up with your own transform meal plan by the end of the video. So pause that now if you're going to. I'll give you a sec. Okay, awesome. So you've got your meal plan in front of you. Let's go through and have a look at this one that I've been provided. So first meal of the day for this client is at 10:30 in the morning, which is porridge made with water and coffee. No snack, going straight into lunch, which at 1 o'clock, which is a roast chicken sandwich on white roll and lettuce. At 5 o'clock, some hummus with some corn chips. At 7:30 there is a tuna bake made with tuna, corn, cheese, milk, penne pasta and some onion. Oh, back to that. So all in all, doesn't look too bad. Okay, could be similar to what you've got in front of you, especially if you've got kids and you've done drop off and you're having breakfast once you get home from dropping them off. So let's have a look at the 4 steps to transforming your meals. Start with step 1. First thing we want to do is check our timing. So make sure that you're eating every 3 to 4 hours apart. Now, when we recommend that you eat every 3 to 4 hours apart, this isn't to say that you're just looking at the clock and going, okay, I ate 7 in the morning, 10 o'clock, I'm going to eat my next meal. I know sometimes work dictates that, But what I am going to get you to look at, and this will be a different way of seeing it possibly for yourself, is that you need to check in with your hunger. So I do recommend that you eat every 3 to 4 hours, but you should feel hungry every 3 to 4 hours. So if you have had breakfast at say 7 o'clock in the morning, by about 10:30, you should be starting to run on empty, and you should be ready for that next meal or snack or whatever it is. If you look at that, so in the original meal plan, this client was eating at 10:30 in the morning, so I'd like to see people starting off a little bit earlier. No snack, some food at 1 o'clock, which is not too bad, so that 3.5 hours later. Then they had a snack at half-hour gap from 5 till 7:30. If you're going to be looking down at your meal plan and looking at this one, we want to have our breakfast between 5 and 8 in the morning. So that should be our first meal between that time. 3 hours later, about 10:30, so we're actually putting breakfast in earlier and we're having a snack at 10:30 in the morning. 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock would be a. So we've moved that afternoon snack to 4 o'clock, which is 3 hours later. And the reason why I'm doing that is because we can still have dinner at 7 o'clock. You just want that good 3 hour gap. Because a lot of the times we do find that clients will have that afternoon snack. It'll be a bit bigger than what they're actually needing. And then they won't actually feel hungry at dinner time, but still will eat because it's dinner time. So if we make that a bit earlier, and then you've got 7 o'clock for dinner. So take a look at your current meal plan. First thing you want to do is make sure that you're eating every 3 to 4 hours. Remembering that's not only dictated by the clock, but that is dictated by the quantity of food. So if you find that you're not hungry at each of your meals, that is the absolute first step. Think about it. When you wake up in the morning, are you hungry? If the answer is no, it means that dinner was probably too much and too late, or you snacked and you've woken up in the morning, you weren't hungry. You should wake up hungry. So if breakfast is at say 7 a.m. in the morning, at 10 o'clock, 10:30, you should feel some hunger. If you're not, then the next morning adjust that breakfast meal so that you do leave yourself hungry. So remove a quarter of it and see what happens. Okay, let's move on to the second step. To help us along in improving our meal plan, we need to check in that we have the right combinations of food. So breakfast should include a protein, a carbohydrate, and a fruit or a vegetable. Snack should include a protein plus a fruit or a veg. Lunch should include a protein plus vegetable plus a fat. You're starting to see the combinations are very similar, slightly adjusted. The afternoon snack is similar to the morning snack, including protein plus a fruit or a vegetable, but you want to get some form of fat in that afternoon snack. And the reason being is that's the time that the body is looking for that fat, and it's the time that people are usually going for chocolate or chips. Dinner time should be protein plus a vegetable plus a fat plus a carbohydrate if it is a training day. So if it's not a training day, then avoid having your carbohydrate. So let's have a look at that overlay onto our breakfast. And again, if you like, you can go back to that screen, pause the video here, and just have a look at what you are having yourself. Okay, so let's take a look at that original meal plan. So the original meal plan was porridge, which is great. It is the grain part of the breakfast, the carbohydrate part of breakfast. And then you've got the coffee, which the coffee, if it was a latte, then that's your milk, that's the protein, the dairy component of it. If it wasn't, if it was just an instant, then you are missing some of the food groups. So we can transform that by doing porridge, still made with water, your yogurt that you can put on top of the porridge, which is your protein component, your berries, which is going to be the fruit component, and LSA, which is just ground linseed, sunflowers, and almonds, which is just going to add to the protein and add to the nutritional value of that food. So you can see immediately that we're reducing the quantity of the porridge and substituting it in with some yogurt berries. So instantly we're increasing the nutritional value of this food. And what you will find is that as you make your food what I like to call nutrient dense, you will find that you will actually need to eat less. Because if you eat just the porridge on its own, regardless of how much or how little you eat, it is predominantly carbohydrate. It does have fiber and some other nutrients in it, but when you add the element of the berries and the LSA and the yogurt, your body does feel like it's being fed because it's getting more nutrients and it won't ask for food as regularly. So no snack in the morning in the original meal plan. In our transformed meal plan, we're going to actually take that coffee that we were using as part of the breakfast, assuming it is a latte, and a small one because that's all you need, we are going to include that as part of a morning snack. So that's kind of the dairy component. We'll add a piece of fruit so that you've got your protein plus your fruit or veg. We're opting for the fruit in this particular situation. Get this situation where you're including your beverages or your coffee as part of your intake. It's not something that I would do for every snack, morning and afternoon and breakfast, but what it is to show is that if you are going to include a latte, coffee into your day, make sure that you add it as part of your meals. A lot of people fall down where they will have their yogurt, for example, for breakfast, for a snack, and then they have their coffee as well, and it's this doubling up. Let's take a look now, our 1 o'clock, our lunch. So we're going to get rid of the white roll. We're still going to have the roast chicken. We're going to include it with a nice salad though, with lots of different colors into it: red, yellow, capsicum, carrot, cherry tomato, spinach, whatever else you want to include into it. Definitely a summer option. If you're going to go a winter option, I'd take that roast chicken, I'd make it into a really thick vegetable soup and have it in that way, or I would make a warm salad where you could have it with some avocado and put it over some steamed broccoli, cauliflower and sweet potato, that type of thing. The afternoon snack, hummus is fine. We're actually just going to substitute those corn chips for carrot and celery sticks. Simple swap. The reason being is we are getting the vegetables in. If you are still wanting to have some corn chips, no problem. Reduce the quantity of the corn chips, add the carrot and celery. Moving on to dinner time at 7 o'clock, you are still having the tuna bake, though we are going to add extra vegetables. We're assuming today is a non-training day, so we're going to take the penne out and we'll serve that bake up, still with the cheese, extra veg, and serving it up with a side salad. So you can see how instantly we've added so much nutritional value to this day. We've spread it out. The quantities are smaller so that you are feeling hungry at each of the meals. I'm going to show you an example of how to transform your meals with the correct food combinations. And this is a lot of the times what I do see is I'll see a client that will come in and say, look, I'm just having some porridge with some water in it, is that okay? And yes, it is a healthy option, but when we're looking at our combinations and you go, okay, so where's the dairy, where are the fruit or the vegetables, then you have a look at it and you go, well, okay, that's probably too much carbohydrate and there is not much else going on there. So if we have a look at the transformed picture on the right hand side, you can see that we've got this, oh, go back. You can see that we've got this section of porridge that's kind of there, which is now about a quarter of the plate. We've added some plain yogurt, which is the protein component. We've added our berries and we've put in some seeds, some sunflower seeds and some pumpkin seeds, and then sprinkled the whole lot with some LSA. So you can see all of a sudden all the nutrients that you're getting from all these additions, and we've reduced the carbohydrate. And a lot of clients, when I show them this picture, will say to me, wow, that looks heaps more appetizing. Let's transform another family favorite, which is spaghetti bolognese. So as you can see here, the spaghetti takes over majority of the plate, and then you've got the sauce over the top, which this bolognese sauce has a bit of spinach through it. So if we're looking at the correct food combinations, assuming it's a training day and we are having carbohydrate, then we have a look at it and go, okay, what's missing? So what's missing is the vegetables, clearly, and too much carbohydrate. So we say to always stick to a quarter of your plate with carbohydrate, and we can see this is sort of overfilling the plate. It's not to say that you can't have spaghetti bolognese, it's to say that you have it differently. So let's have a look at the transformed picture on the opposite side. Now this is just an example of what you can do, but it can be any combination of vegetables in different ways. So we've got the pasta, we've reduced the quantity of it. The sauce should actually remain the same because we do want the protein from the meat, and then you fill the plate with the rest in vegetables. So here we've got a grated cabbage and carrot salad, we've got some steamed broccoli and cauliflower, and we've got some raw cucumber and snow peas, but this could be any combination of vegetables. If you're looking at a rice dish, normally people have a big plate of rice with a bit of chicken stir fry on top of it, or beef stir fry, or whatever your choice is. Again, transforming it by going, okay, we're going to reduce the amount of rice and we're going to increase the amount of protein, but then adding extra vegetables. And you can add a raw salad to anything. You can add it to a stir fry, on the side of a stir fry, I mean. You can have it with anything. You can have it with pizza. You can have a raw salad with all of your main meals, really, and it's something that I encourage and something we do at home. So there you have it, where you take your current style of eating and change it into something else. Okay, so step number 3, looking at choosing better options. So the first thing to do is to take a look at what are you currently having and just create some smart swaps. Is also about seeking nutrient dense foods. So when I look at food, I'm always looking for things that have got the most nutritional foods that have got the most nutritional value in them. And as I said before, if you are eating more nutrient dense foods, you can get away with eating a lot less because you're still being satisfied. Making sure that you're removing nutrient empty foods and high calorie foods, things such as sugary treats and lollies. They've so much carbohydrate, so much sugar in it, but they give you zero nutritional value. The body digests that really quickly and then drops your blood sugar levels, and it just keeps you asking for more food. So you want to get rid of those high calorie foods that give you no nutrients. And it goes back to that example of people can eat a burger, a takeaway burger, we won't name names, but can eat a takeaway burger. The nutritional value is so low that they feel hungry again in an hour's time. Whereas you can eat something that's half the size, that's full of nutritional value, that has seeds and avocado and good proteins and lots of green leafy vegetables. It would be half the size, half the calories, but the nutritional value in that food is just so dense that it does keep you feeling fuller for longer. So so our better options are to make sure that our foods are minimally processed. So the less we do to fruit and vegetables and grains, the better it is. Making sure you're going for whole grain and brown alternatives in your foods. Choosing lean meats and avoiding, again, processed meats. So let's take lots of colors when I'm picking vegetables. The other thing that you can do too is make sure that you have lots of green. So green is the staple of vegetable that you should include. So when you're looking down at your meal and you can only see yellows, then make sure you get some green in there as well. Lean meats, poultry and fish, keeping it all lean. Making sure you're getting fresh fruit, nuts and seeds, always pick them in their raw state. And with dairy, avoiding fat-free, make sure you get the full fat with all your dairy, because we have found that low-fat dairy, the taste and flavor is just substituted with lots of sugar. And again, you're just not getting the nutritional value of it. Adding things like whole grains and alternatives, quinoa, amaranth, buckwheat, all of that is another way to increase nutritional value and make some smarter swaps. So let's take a look at our original meal plan and what we've done with our smart swap. So the 10:30 a.m. porridge, we've moved it to 7, still making the porridge with the water, adding the yogurt, the berries and the LSA. The coffee, as I said, we've just added the apple in. The roast chicken salad, the swap was to get rid of the white roll and replace it with a hearty salad. However, if you were wanting to keep some form of a grain at lunch because you have done a morning workout, then you can replace it with a quality whole grain or slices of bread, or even just doing some form of whole grain wrap or mountain bread, which is a really quick and easy substitute that doesn't change your meal plans too much. The hummus and the corn chips, hummus is a great option. We have replaced it with the carrot and celery sticks. And the tuna bake, we've gotten rid of the penne in this particular occasion, but again, if it was a training day, you could substitute that in for brown rice or rice as opposed to the penne. You could also put that tuna bake over polenta to introduce a different grain or add some buckwheat into it. So there's lots of ways that you could substitute that penne. And again, with this, there was only the corn. We're going to put a range of extra colourful vegetables in: zucchini, sweet potato, pumpkin. You could even put some broccoli and cauliflower in there. It all goes really nicely in a bake. So again, always looking for that increased nutritional value. The last step we're going to look at is beverages and what we're drinking. First thing is make sure you're getting enough water, so that 1 cup per 9 kilos of body weight. So you can do the mental math with that, or it's that 2 liters a day. So to increase the water intake, you can start with, this is my thing to do, is starting the day with a hot glass of water and a quarter of a lemon squeezed into it. Before my morning tea, I carry around a thermos of tea. It could be green tea, white tea, peppermint tea. So that's another way to get that water intake in, is through teas. I always end the day with the green tea. So we don't always just have to have 2 liters of straight drinking fresh water. I always say make sure you get at least a litre of water fresh, and the rest of it can be made up with teas and soups. Avoid drinking your calories. That's something that oftentimes people don't count, a juice or soft drinks, but I would actually include that as part of your intake. So if you're having a juice for breakfast, then that would substitute the fruit that you are actually having as part of your breakfast. So make sure that you count it in, because it really does count. Coffees are those hidden ones that people really don't realize the impact that it's having. A lot of the times we have clients that are struggling to shift the weight because they're not counting their coffees, and they may have 2 or 3 lattes a day, and you're like, wow, that's half a liter of milk, if not more, per day. And that's okay to have them in there, but just remembering you want to include that as part of your intake. So use it as an afternoon snack, or use it as a morning snack, and adding that piece of fruit or vegetable to it, or nuts with it. So if we take a look at that meal plan again, the transformed meal plan is that we're starting at 6:45 in the morning, 15 minutes before our breakfast at 7, with hot water and a quarter of lemon. We've got our pot breakfast. We are also going to add a hot cup of water, or just a cup of water at the end of your brekkie. Coffee in the morning. After your coffee, wait a little while, add in a cup of water. You're having your roast chicken and salad with water after that. Afternoon snack, again, have another cup of water. I like to have a tea here. Your 7 p.m. tuna bake. And then just before you go to bed, your green tea. So you can see how by spreading it out in that way, you get your glasses of water in quite easily without really noticing. I like to carry a 2 litre bottle around, then I can just monitor how much I'm having and know that even if I get through, you know, a litre and a half of that with my morning lemon and water and my nighttime green tea and my mid-morning white tea or whatever it is, I know I'm definitely getting more than enough water in, and water plays a huge part in the detox process and in weight loss. So make sure that you're factoring that in. So there you have it, a completely transformed meal plan to what we saw. There you have it. I hope you can look down at your meal plan that you wrote down at the start and you can immediately make some change. So take this information away, put it over your meal plans. If you do need some help, we'd love to help you out. Jump onto our website and you can take up our 21-day Kickstart program and start to make these changes for yourself. Please leave some comments. Let me know how you go with it. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are.